Hello, so today I'm going to talk about some of the health related benefits of having an Apple Watch. Again, I would start from saying that it's a very expensive watch. So if you cannot afford it, it's not the end of the world. You don't have to buy it. But what I found out is it's really useful to me, and that's something that pushed me to buy it. So number one thing is it gives you a very good electrical activity of your heart that we call as EKG or ECG. What happens to my heart is it's really sensitive to caffeine. So when I take caffeine, the heart rate goes really high, and that can even lead to MI, which is myocardial infarction, and a heart attack. So once it happened to me that I took coffee and my Apple Watch told me that I need to see the doctor, and actually because of coffee my heart rate went so high that I could have landed into a cardiac arrest. So I found out that it's really useful to me, and since then I have been constantly keeping it on. So I found out that its feature of monitoring your heart rate and looking at your variation in your heart rate is really useful, and that is one of the biggest features that I found out in my Apple Watch, and that's the reason that it's FDA approved. That it's really useful. But again, it only gives you one lead electrical activity. It does not give you the whole electrical activity that we find out when we go to the hospital and they do our EKG or ECG. So that's the difference. But again, still it's a blessing in disguise, and there is a reason why it's FDA approved. You can go into more details about that. So it does find out your heart rate, the fluctuations in your heart rate, and then you can monitor your heart rate and discuss with your doctor that what was your heart rate during the whole day and during the whole week and during the whole month and during the whole year, and how it fluctuated, why it fluctuated, and what can be done about it. So that's extremely useful, especially if you are a cardiac patient. So please, take it with a grain of salt, I would say, because it's very expensive. That's the thing I did not like about it. I wish it was cheaper so that people can literally afford it, And with that cardiac monitoring, it comes with a very, very good feature that some people are not even aware of. It's called HRV, Heart Rate Variability Index. That is very important. You know why? Because it checks that how much is the variation between your heart rate, that how high it goes and how low it goes, and how much is your heart able to compensate in all sort of situations like stressful situations and all those things. So HRV gives us a lot of information about your cardiac status, and you can literally take that HRV from day to day and week to week and month to month and year to year basis and compare the performance of your heart and discuss with your doctor that what can we do to make it better, and so on and so forth. So that is some feature that I found out very useful. And it also tells your resting heart rate and the walking heart rate, so you can see that how much fluctuation you have in your heart rate, and you can improve it by doing cardio and a lot of important things that your fitness person or fitness doctor or physician can talk to you about. So just keep those things in your mind. You don't have to buy it. I'm not pushing you people to buy it. I'm just telling you what are the benefits, what I found out useful. Another extremely important feature in our life is sleep. We sleep really good and really bad. So it depends what kind of sleep we have, how much intermittency we have in our sleep, how much continuity we have in our sleep, what are the sleep waves and sleep cycles, and so on and so forth. So if you have Apple Watch, you can literally monitor your sleep, which is a very good feature, because if you're having sleep problems, you can have a lot of other health issues, and you can talk to your doctor to get rid of those health issues and get a better lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, So that's another very useful feature. Another very recent feature of Apple Watch is Pulse Ox, which is called the Pulse Oximetry. It can literally check your oxygen saturation of your blood. that is amazing. But I could not find out whether this feature is FDA approved or not. But again, that is an amazing feature, because imagine if you have COPD, if you have asthma, if you have heart problem, if you have breathing problems, if you have restrictive lung diseases. There is a ton of breathing issues and cardiac issues or stroke related issues in which you can have low oxygen in your blood and you can literally die from that. Or let's say, God forbid, if any one of us is in a fire or is in a road traffic accident or some sort of trauma in which your blood oxygen goes down, or let's say even nothing like that is there, but you are having anemia and your oxygen saturation is going down due to those things, and therefore you can literally track those things and talk to the doctor and get the prevention done before you need to cure it, because prevention is better than cure. So that's another very, very interesting feature I found out in Apple Watch. Plus, it creates your medical ID. You can literally connect to your doctor through Apple Watch, through all those features, and he can literally watch them from his office. So it creates your medical ID. You can track all your medical things like that. Plus, it has a feature where you can have your, COVID ID cards, the COVID vaccine cards. So it can have that as well. So you don't even have to carry it with you all the time. You can just show it to the person wherever you need to show it, and that's it. And other very useful feature that I did not even know about, that I found out after buying it, is it has that hearing protection phenomena. It can detect the noise levels around you and tell you that you need to avoid that kind of noise levels. How I noticed it, or how I came across, is like, I used the restroom and then I came out and I washed my hands and then I went to, dry my hands. So that machine which, produces that air and dries your hand is quite noisy. And I never noticed it until my Apple Watch told me that if you had stayed in this much noise for this duration, you could have gone deaf, which is a stunning feature for me. From now on, I therefore try to avoid too much, drying under those air dryers, and I just use those paper towels and things like that. Because if you stop doing those things from now on, you are going to avoid the hearing problems that you will catch up, early on. Let's say if you are doing that kind of drying at work and wherever you are on regular basis, maybe 5 times a day for 50 years, you will go deaf earlier than the people who do not do that thing. So take that into consideration. I really found out that thing extremely helpful. Another important feature, and again, I did not even know this feature until I saw it on my watch, is it literally detects the level of water, like the sound level of the water, and tells you that for how long were you washing your hands after using a bathroom and so on and so forth. That is an amazing feature. You know why? Because according to CDC and all those guidelines, there is a time frame for which you should wash your hands to get rid of maximum bacteria and viruses, so as you get the maximum cleanliness of your hands. So when I'm washing my hands, my Apple Watch is tracking that, man, you did not wash your hands for the appropriate duration. So next time, be careful. You better be careful. So my Apple Watch tells me all those things. So why not, So it's producing so much good results in my health, that I can literally see them. I can literally feel them. And I can literally get benefit from those. Another extremely useful feature that I found out, again, after buying it, that it tells you something called mindfulness feature. So it tells you that, Usman, you have been sitting for so long and you need to get up. Usman, you have been sitting for so long, you need to take a deep breath. Those features are amazing. For example, if I'm doing a research, I'm studying and doing some research, my watch is going to tell me that you have been sitting for this long duration. You need to get up. You know why? that's going to prevent cardiac problems, that's going to prevent stroke problems, that's going to prevent all the heart and health and breathing problems, because it gives me a chance to get up and walk and produce a circulation, have some circulation going on, and have some blood flow all over the body, and then I can sit back. So it's a mindfulness feature, and I call it mind-blowing feature, because it tells me that I need to get up. I should not stay seated for so long, because it's really unhealthy, because my heart is getting weak, my brain is getting weak, and my attention span is getting affected, and a lot of things are getting affected if you do not take breaks in between those sitting hours. So that is a very good feature. Another important section in that mindfulness feature of the Apple Watch is it tells me to take deep breaths after a certain time period. You know what benefit it has? It has a ton of benefits. How? Because let's say if I took this long deep breath, it filled my chest and gave a whole lot of oxygen to my whole blood circulation, which went to my brain, which went to my heart, which went to my all the organs, and gave them a good refresher, which is very, very good. And let's say if you are a breathing patient, for example, if you have asthma or COPD and heart problem or anything like that, it becomes even more important. So try to take those things into consideration, and it should help. It is very essential feature. Another extremely essential feature or useful feature for elderly people in Apple Watch that I found out was fall detection. So if you have an Apple Watch on and you fall, God forbid you fall due to anything, or if you have any trauma or accident and you fell down, or if you're hiking and you fell down, Apple Watch is going to detect for you, and it's going to call on its own. You don't have to do anything. It's going to call on its own to EMS, emergency medical services, and they're going to come and help you out, which is an amazing feature. Back in the old days, people used to carry those alarms, and and those alarms are so expensive. But this thing is extremely essential and extremely useful. Again, it's essential to an accessory extent. If you are not over there at that kind of level in your life, maybe you don't need it. So I'm just sharing my own personal experience. I'm not pushing people to buy it or get into those business stuff, but that's what I found out. Please like, subscribe, and share to my channel, and help the people around you. Please live happy, please live long, please live healthy. Thank you so much.